Hello, friends. I am Tom Downey from Chat Sports, and we are talking Dolphins now on today's show. Namely, should they pursue signing Melvin Ingram, the edge rusher most recently with the Los Angeles Chargers? This was suggested to us here by Fansided, and I don't always love those ideas, but I do think it's worth exploring. I think this one actually does make some sense. Now, adding an extra pass rusher, adding depth in that area, that is never a bad idea, as long as the money works out right and the player is happy in his particular role. Now, unfortunately for Melvin Ingram, he's coming off a not good season. At his age 32 campaign, or 31, whichever one it was, 7 games, was banged up for pretty much the entire time. At 10 tackles, just the 1 tackle for loss, 0 sacks. All of those things are quite concerning. Like that is a major red flag there from that perspective. But in 2019, he was still performing at a very good level. 48 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 5 pass breakups. Those are good. Like, if you can get that level of Melvin Ingram, well, then, I mean, come on, he wouldn't be out there at this point, right? So get your votes for me before we spend more depth in terms of why it may or may not be a fit. Should the Miami Dolphins go sign Melvin Ingram? Get your votes in right now for me in the comments section. Type Y for yes, they should, or type in N for no, they should not. Now, in what is kind of a hybrid 3-4, 4-3 scheme here, Ingram's coming off a somewhat similar defensive scheme there. Where does he fit in, right? Well, Emmanuel Ogbah last year. He's been a first-round pick on Jaylen Phillips, so he's certainly not going to end up going anywhere either. Andrew Van Ginkel produced pretty well, but Vince Beagle, Nick Cole, Brennan Scarlett, it's not a great group of pure stand-up or off-the-ball, or edge rushers there. So I think there is some room for Melvin Ingram. But the other question here is, okay, where does he slot in? Does he start, or is he edge 3 or 4? And if he's edge 3 or 4, at that point, does Ingram want to play? But I think from a production standpoint, Miami could use another pass rusher based on the guys coming back, because remember, Shaq Lawson's gone. Jaylen Phillips probably gets his snaps in the end. Emmanuel Ogbah had 9. Jerome Baker, more of a blitzing linebacker than a pure edge guy, was 7. Van Ginkel surprised everyone with 5.5. He's, if we're being honest here, probably due for some level of regression. Zach Sealer had 3.5. Landon Roberts, again, kind of more of an off-ball linebacker there, had 1.5. And then also, I'll make note, Christian Wilkins had the exact same production there at the 1.5 level. So I do think there is a role for Melvin Ingram. If he's healthy, if he's coming off, if he's going to bounce back a bit there, I think he'd be cheap. That's always valuable in today's NFL. Finding a cheap third edge rusher does make some sense. But we will see in the end if the Dolphins end up making a run at adding Melvin Ingram this offseason. Let's chat some more Dolphins news on this side here, because according to running back Myles Gaskin, well, there's a new playbook coming in. Now, as I'm sure everyone watching knows, George Godsey and Eric Studsville are the new co-offensive coordinators. And Gaskins kind of revealed that this is a different offense. Like, this is not the same playbook. And I think that's important to note, and also try to identify exactly what the new playbook ends up meaning. Now, I was very down to move on from Chan Gailey because I didn't really think he's a great play caller. Overhauling the playbook comes with some positives and some negatives that we'll dive into here in a second. First, from Gaskin's quote, "It's definitely different. A whole new playbook. It's not the same as last year. Surprised with some things, excited for some things." And I do wonder, and I wish there had been more of a follow-up there, has the terminology changed? Are the formations, the personnel, the actual plays what's different? Because those are two really separate things. If the terminology has changed, that's a pretty significant learning curve for the entire offense. If the terminology is the same, which is my guess as we sit right now, but it's different formations, different groupings, different emphasis on particular plays and formations and concepts and all that stuff, Well, I'm more intrigued by that one. So get your votes in for me here before we go more in depth on Gaskin and how this impacts, maybe Tua, for example. Is a new playbook a good thing? Type 1 for yes, it is, or type in 0 for no. Get your votes in right now in the comments section. Now, Gaskin, I think for now, is the lead running back, and I will make note that, of course, Eric Studsville has plenty of experience working with the running backs there as the former RB coach. Gaskin, Brown, Savon Ahmed, Jared Dokes is on the roster as well. Of course, they've moved on from other players here. And last year, just in general, as it relates to the running game, Matt Breida did not fare very well. He's gone. So there is at least at minimum 59 carries you would imagine to go around between the new backs. Matt Breida goes out. Malcolm Brown comes in. Savon Ahmed, Myles Gaskin. Gaskin was a nice player. I think he's still in line to be RB1. And I do wonder if the new playbook will benefit or end up hurting Myles Gaskin. But in the end, I think this point has been made very clear by me and others. It's less about the running game. That's not what the purpose is of installing a new playbook with new offensive coordinators. The goal here is about Tua. That, unquestionably, folks, is the priority. The new playbook needs to be built around Tua. It is his team right now, and most importantly, it's his time to break out in 2021. Fair or not, in the modern-day NFL, quarterbacks don't normally get the 2, 3, or even 4 years to grow and develop and show they can be the guy. If you're lucky, you get 3 years, and then you're kind of on your way out there, right, Sam Darnold? So Tua has got to step up this year, and my hope is that an offensive system and game planning that, for the record, I did not like last year. I thought that the game plan was very different with Tua versus with Fitzpatrick, and I think it limited Tua far more than should really be done. But I think that with this new game plan and the new playmakers on offense, Will Fuller, Jaylen Waddle, guys getting healthy, I believe that we will see a better Tua in 2020. That is my expectation here. Or 2021, excuse me. The 2020 guy was not bad by any means. 64% through the air, 1,800 yards. The TD's not high enough. Interceptions a bit too high. The QBR was kind of more just above average here. But for Miami, with a new playbook, this is the opportunity to build everything around Tua, to get an offense that fits his skill set, and build your offense around your superstar player, or at least potential superstar player, and make sure he has every chance to prove he is the guy. Because if not, life's short in the NFL. There might need to be some changes before Dolphins fans would prefer them to be made.